Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial in camera lens repair, and I will continue with the showing if there was, it's not the case here, if there was oil on the aperture blades in this Asahi Super-Takumar, and it's a 1.4 and 50 millimeter. It's a 7 lens element version, so well, it could be different in your lens, but let's see. Now I will just continue with this, and I have some notes which I also use in the video about cleaning lens element. So just to make sure, I will describe it as I take things apart. Now we need to unscrew the nameplate with a lens tool, rubber tool, a sticky rubber tool. And in this lens, which I couldn't really fully screw it in because there was a dent here somewhere, because the lens has been hit by something, or it damaged into a table or whatever. So I make myself a tool with the very sticky, is a gasket where you can get in the plumber section in the hardware store, and I attach it with double-sided tape as a nut for a pipe or something, and it's more sticky than the other rubber tool here. So you can just unscrew it again. And it sits a bit tight, but we'll make it anyway. So off with the name ring, and as I said, there are 3 screws that actually hold the front ring here. They are small, and you probably can see, it just show it here. They are those that sit there, not those, because there is a cutout here for the screws, for the screw, and also over here and down here. So the other screws is actually holding the front ring. So I will just take that out. And with a I should just mention what tools I use. Sorry for that. I will use a 1.8 millimeter flathead screwdriver, a tweezer, just a pointy one, a dentist tool with a really pointy tip on both ends. It's good to make scratch on the aluminium. A lens sucker, in this case, it's a tiny one. You can buy them or search on those. And a few cotton buds, and we will also use some isopropyl alcohol, and a lens cloth, which is good for that, and of course a lens blower, which is also very handy. This is a new one from photosol.com, which I just buy. It's called HEPA Jet 2 or Orbit. It's really good because there is a filter on the back here, which is actually a HEPA filter, so no dust on that comes out of the nozzle here. Now I also make a special tool for put in aperture blades. It's a tweezer, a bended tweezer, which I filed, so it's really thin and easily to put in blades and lenses. It works really good. Now let's continue with the rest of the 2 screws that hold the ring. Oh, just to put put them in a safe area where you can find them so they will not disappear. And just to, before I take out the last screw, I make a scratch here on the front ring. And I also make a scratch. Wow, damaged lens. No, it will not, it will just make it much easier to, when you put things back in. So I make a scratch here on the front, the edge of the front lens group here. So it will make it easier when we attach the, assemble the lens again. So I will show you sooner. So off with that ring, and I know where it should sit because of the mark here and the mark here, which is in line with the index mark here, down here. If I set it to infinity. I also set a small scratch here on the inside of the focusing ring. You will not see it when the lens is assembled. Now, to get out, to take out the whole lens assembly, we need to take out 3 screws here that hold the whole lens assembly. So, and back to my notes here. Set small mark at infinity, and beside the, there are 6 screw holes here for the small screws. Which of them should it be? Well, I just set a mark here, and a mark over here. Just to know where the screws for the lens group has to sit. For the lens assembly. So now I can just take them out without any problem. And just to mention also a thing which is important, I set a mark here also, which is on the inner part of the focusing helicoid. So the lens assembly has to sit correct. If not, the aperture will not be correct when you put it in, because you can turn the lens assembly a bit. So make sure to set a mark here and also a mark here which is in line with the index mark. It will make it a lot more easy. Now set the A and M, it will say this button here for the automatic aperture and the manual. It has to set on M. Set the lens to, the aperture ring to 16, all the way over here. So there. And as I already said, set a mark on the edge of the front lens group, as I said here. So we can just continue by unscrewing these 3 screws here. And there, and here. So now it will be simple to take out the whole lens assembly. Now set the lens, the focusing ring to near end, and simply the aperture to 16, and simply pop out the lens assembly as it comes out. Very easy. And see the pin here, this pin, it is connected to the fork down here, which is the way when I turn the aperture ring, it will move, and in that way move the aperture, as we can see here. So take it aside. Now to get into the aperture it sits with some screws. I haven't been into it yet, but we will see. So I need to unscrew the back lens group here and the front lens group. And it should be quite easy since I already been into it. So I can just, I'll just use a rubber tool. It's more easy. And hold here and have a good grip, or use a rubber tool to unscrew it. And then unscrew it. So, and put it aside. And the exact same thing I will use for the front lens group. Keep in mind the pin here should not be damaged. So have a good grip here, and let's see if I can get it off by using a this one here. Maybe is not the correct one. No, I'll just use this number 5, and hopefully I can unscrew the front lens group. Yeah, it comes off. So off with that. And here we look into the aperture assembly. And I'm not quite sure how to go into it, but let's see. There is a there are some set screws around here, which we will need a, I guess, 1.2 millimeter flathead screwdriver. So, and before I take it apart, it should be, well, maybe it should be necessary. No. I will just set a mark here somewhere where the on the inside here somewhere, just to make sure this ring sits correct. I don't know what's behind here, but just make a scratch here. So, and on the inside of the lens housing, something like that. So now we know where it should sit. And yeah, let's just jump into it. Sometimes you just have to do. So take those 3 screws out, or you maybe can let them sit in the barrel here. So just loosen them, and hopefully they are okay. Yeah, it's fine. So I don't know if I take that ring out, this ring here, if when I take it out, it will just pop out and the blades will just fall out. I don't know yet. And with the help from another dentist tool, this is a spade like something, it should be possible to lift up this. Maybe I need a stand to put this on here. Kind of, I would guess so. Something like that. It's a number 4 of those rubber cones. So I just put it on here and have a good stand. Then with another dentist tool, I probably can lift out the ring here, hopefully. Yeah. Maybe not. It's a tight fit, but I guess I have to unscrew the screws here a little, I mean loosen them, just a few turns, and something like that. Come on. So, and then we try again. Maybe it will work. I mean, I hope so. So just lift it out. Okay, here it comes. Nice and easy. If there was oil in this lens, there could probably be something on the back here of this ring. But it doesn't seem there is any oil at all. So let's see how the blades look. If I can turn it so it works this way. And it should be quite easy to take them out. So there. Now I will just use a pointy tool, or maybe if I can use my lens sucker here, maybe it's too big, and simply lift out the blade. It can sometimes be a little tricky, but okay, I have to fully close the aperture, and then with a pointy tool lift out one blade, something like that. So now it's what you say, kind of open, and I can use my specialized tweezers here and simply give it a bath. Let's see how it goes in here. There could be some oil here on the inside here, but this ring where the blade sits in, this ring here, sits with 3 screws here on the back. So I think I will just take that out and see how it goes, and just to make sure it sits correct, I will make a scratch here on the back, because I have an idea of if it's turned a bit, I mean over to one screw, it sits not correct. I mean, we have a point here where this rings and this hole here sit next to the plate here, the stop. But anyway, I will just make a scratch here. Just a tiny one. It doesn't affect anything. But it's just so we have an idea of where it should sit. And we will also make a scratch here. I haven't seen the repair manual for this lens, so that's why I make those scratches. So, we will just take that ring out of that, and then it should be possible to lift this ring out, or the whole assembly. And this is how it looks. Okay, that's good to know. And this ring should be possible to take out. Maybe it's a tight fit here. Yeah, so it comes apart. And there could be a lot of oil. There is actually a kind of a trace of something here. So it's time for a bath on those parts here. And it's just my fan beside me. So it takes away the fumes from the isopropyl alcohol. So now I just clean the parts here, so it's completely free of oil, and it will look nice and clean. So there, and it's not that hard. Just wipe away the rest of the isopropyl alcohol. So, and we actually can just put that ring in again. And since I have the mark here, I know exactly where it should sit. And of course there could also be oil here inside the inside this, the barrel here, and we can just use some isopropyl alcohol with on a cotton bud, and then wipe away the rest of it, so it's nice and clean. And now it looks really good. So I can simply just put that that part in again, and this ring can only sit in one position, but the other ring here, I have to turn it in a way. So maybe I will put in the this ring here. Let's move the aperture plates, and then the ring here. The mark is here, and it should face something like over here to the where the pin is, so I can just adjust it a little, something like that. So now I can, as you see here, since I set a mark here on the inside, no, it's difficult to see, gosh, and it should be something like that there. Now, and then I can just, sorry, of course it's the other screw, yeah, come on, it should be those here. Now it goes a little fast. So this ring can actually only sit in one position. That's a good design. So we can see the hole, the screw hole in here, and it can only sit in that way. So that's really good. And then I will just wipe dry out the aperture plates, put them in, and then we are done. So now we are back again, and it should move freely without oil. So put it on stand again, and then I will just do it a little faster to speed up the process to wipe the plates. So that was the last plate, and I can also take the this cover ring for the aperture and just give it a go a little. So, and now it's time to put in the plates, which could be a little challenge. So let's see how it will go. It's interesting. So I think how it looks like something like that. It's a little different made So where did it go? Where did it go? Here. I think I will just use my lens sucker here to add the blade on. Then press gently and then you can see the blade is moving. So now I'll just go clockwise around and just put in the blade and with my finger put the blade in to the holes here. So there, and goes pretty fine. Then the point comes to the where the last blade comes in, because it can be a little tricky. So something like that, and hopefully I can catch those holes. So now the last blade, I need to move the aperture control ring as much as I can, and then should be possible to put in the last blade, which could be a little tricky. So it has to go under all the other blades. So maybe it's easier to open it a little. That's not so easy, but let's see how it will go. If I add this here and nah. So, but if I can lift up the blade there, the first blade I put in, if I can lift it up and in that way push it under, something like that. Something like that here, lift it up, and then see, that's not easy, but I hope we will make it. Okay, so then I can put it in, hopefully. There it should be, and then turn the I mean, move the blades into place, something like that. Aha. Yeah, let's see if it will work. Yeah, fine. So now I can add the this cover ring, and since I set a mark here somewhere here, and also on the inside, it should be easy to just put on. Where is the mark? Oh, over here. So it doesn't really matter how it sits, but no one knows before you take it apart. So it should be easy to just put in. And maybe one of the screws has to be unscrewed a little. Or maybe two of them, to let the ring come in place. There it should be. Just need to unscrew this screw a little, so, and maybe someone over here. It's not that easy as I thought. So something like that, and hopefully it should be possible to lower the ring. Maybe I have to lift it up a little again. Could be. Yeah. And lower it into correct position. Now it sits where it should, and the two marks here are aligned into position. So that's good. So I can then gently tighten those set screws, and everything is fine. And then we are back on track. And it actually feels more alive. So it was good. I took it off. I mean, took it apart, and really cleaned them. Now put in the front lens group. Find the thread there. So there, and then tighten it good. Then the back lens group. And also tighten that good. So, wow, much better. And then we are almost done. Just need to be sure set the aperture ring to 16, the focusing ring to near end, and this pin here all the way over to the stop here with the brass, and the pin has to go, this pin has to go into the fork in here, and it should be quite easy. And I know the precision when I have put in the lens assembly, because my marks. So I should simply just lower it gently and maybe wiggle a little, align it into the correct position, and then it should be possible to move the aperture ring and fully close the aperture. And everything is fine, so that's really good. So I just need to tighten the screws around the front lens group. It should be there. The screws can be a little tricky to put in because they are little. So catch the thread and not make sure not to damage the thread in the aluminum. So and yeah, and almost done. And now we have an oil-free aperture again, and so that's it. So it is, and we need to put on the front ring here. And since I have a mark here and a mark inside here, I know exactly where it should sit. So there's no, you can see the holes in here, they should sit correct. Something like that. And put in those tiny screws here. So there. And the next, where did it go here? So there. Well, and the last screw. And then we only miss the the name ring. So there. Now, since this has a lump here where it has been hit by something, the nameplate does not come in so easy. But it says click, and then it should be easy to do with my homemade tool to screw it in, hopefully. Nah, not so good. No, I have to do something with that front here. You maybe can see there is a hit by something. Well, but that was all for me. So hope you enjoyed the content. I will fix that sooner. So see you. Bye bye.